Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today we're going over Tariq's defense. They sent this in. They've got some big numbers, and let's just jump right into it. We grade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. Team number 1 is a symbiotes team. Is what it is. I think this is a great placement. You just want to make sure that Scream and AV are apart from each other. I do like symbiote Spider-Man in the middle because he's the most dodgy of all of them. And you know, the ISOs are very forgiving on this team, however you want to go about it. I kind of like what they got going on here. Yeah, so A for this team, moving on. Oops, I don't have that prepped. There we go. Team number 2 is the Axeman. Let's see. This is not very good placement. Okay, so there's 2 different theories here. You can do Bishop in the middle with Kitty and Iceman on either side. Or you could do Bishop off to the side with Iceman and then Kitty and then the other 2. I prefer Bishop in the middle, so I think you should just swap Jubilee and Bishop on this lineup, and then you'll be doing pretty good. I also run Jubilee as a striker. I like her as a striker. I do see the value running her as a skirmisher. On defense, Beast as a healer is okay, but I think in raids, you got to make him a skirmisher also, the way this team functions. Like, you need every little bit of help in that Doom 2.3 raid. Man, I mean, this team just barely holds. We thought they were overtuned at first, and then along comes Doom 2. So I don't like the placement on this one. The ISOs are good enough, and I'm going to give you an A- on that. Just do that placement swap. That's a pretty big team also. You might consider putting them on offense. At least keeping one of your speed meta teams on offense is usually a good plan. All right, over here we have WepX, no Omega Red. We swapped in Emma instead. I'm kind of surprised at the size of your teams that you don't have Omega Red unlocked at this point in time. I'm wondering what's going on there. Emma's not a great choice on here, but it's okay. She's giving them a little bit more speed and that cleanse to help keep them from being ability blocked. Anything to get Lady D to open up on her special and rewind some turn meter and get going. It's still a powerful defense, even if you don't have Omega Red. So no points lost here. Let's see, Raider, Striker, Raider, Skirmisher. I think maybe make Wolverine a striker when you take this team to offense. I like him as a striker on offense. I'm finding a lot more value there because he gets speed up on his basic, and it tends to work a little bit better. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give you an A for this defense, though. It's fine the way it is. It really is. All right, team number 4 is a Doc Ock Sinister 6. I'm not a big fan of Doc Ock on the Sinister 6 team. I think he's better for hybrids, but is what it is. People still get a lot of DVs with this. Let's take a look at these ISOs. Striker is okay. I prefer Mysterio being the striker and Swarm being a skirmisher. Raider is okay. I like her better as a skirmisher, though, but I'm not going to dock for either of those. You know, in any way you do these combinations of striker, skirmisher, and Raider on the Sinister 6 members, they're fine. The only one that you really want to get right is Rhino, and he should be a Raider. He's too slow to bother as a healer. You want more vulnerables on the field with his adjacent attacking and stuff like that. You do want him adjacent to Doc Ock for the cleanse, so that's great. Doc Ock's fine the way he's going. I'm gonna just give you a C+ for this team. Only reason I'm grading it so low is I just like him better on a hybrid team. I really don't like him on this. I think this is a pretty beefy Sinister 6 team, so it's gonna hold up well. But this is really just, it's not great. Another thing you can also do is you can replace, like, your Rhino is pretty small compared to the rest of this team. Let's replace Rhino with Shocker. And get Vulture out here in place of Mysterio. And that way you've got Vulture and Shocker on the field. So Doc Ock will summon a great big Rhino for his summons. That's going to really help you defend against the Speed Metas team. But as is, you got this small Mysterio who's going to summon more food. He's summoning a Shocker who's going to be food. This Rhino isn't very big. He's not going to hold up long, so I don't really like that. All right, team number 4, moving on. We have a Chavez Eternal team. I'd like this team a little bit further back in your lineup so you don't show people what you're doing with your YA members. But otherwise, this is fine. You've got Deathpool here. Remember, Deathpool isn't giving out energy in war, only in raids, but she does do some cleanup after a big AoE opener from these two. And then you have Ghost in here. I don't know, maybe do a placement change and bring Deathpool over to the other side of Ghost since Ghost is so dodgy. I don't really know why Ghost is in here. It's just another striker. You got 4 strikers and 1 skirmisher. You're not getting a lot of value out of Ghost. I think you should go like Emma or Surfer on this team. Or I don't know, I'm thinking New Warriors. Well, Emma and Surfer would be fine also. Actually, Emma would make this team impossible to get in front of with Zemo. So probably go Emma in place of Ghost. I just don't think Ghost adds that much value to this team. Everybody's going to be dead by the time she goes to prolonged special effects. So yeah, I think it's a waste of a character, and I think as is, it could use a placement tweak, and you don't have enough people putting up vulnerables. So I'm just going to give you a B- for this. Yeah, like one character change, like a Surfer as a Raider would change a lot of the problems in here. And Emma in here as a Skirmisher might change a lot of the problems in here. So that's up to you to do. Team number 6, we have the Inhumans hybrid with Coulson. This is an oldie but a goodie. Build up your Coulson, I guess. Everything else is pretty good. Maybe make Surfer into the Raider so you get more vulnerables on the field. You got 2 people putting them out, 3 people soaking them up, so you're really close. Yeah, I like Surfer as a Raider, I do. I think he's better as a Raider myself. But you're really close. I'm going to give you an A- for that. Team number 7 is a Doom Brotherhood team. This is another old one. Now, if you're running the full YA or your alliance is running a lot of full YA teams, then you should run this. If not, don't run this. It's old. Everybody knows how to beat it. And if they don't need their Zemo teams for YA, then they'll be using them on this team. But as is... Let's see, we have Deflex going to Magneto and Juggernaut. That's fine. You should probably swap places with Doom and Magneto. Doom just blinds and then he's not really, or I mean, Magneto just blinds and then he's not really necessary. So put Doom next to Blob to get those deflex. Skirmisher, Striker on Blob. Let's see, you've got, yeah, Blob's not doing a lot of retaliating and you don't have a lot of disrupts on the field. Chances of him attacking into a vulnerable and a disrupt to come back with his basic counter assist and rewind turn meter, that's a lot of ifs, man. I don't think so. I think either go Skirmisher or because he's so much smaller, make him a fortifier. He's not war ready, neither is Magneto. Magneto is a good Raider, so make him war ready. Juggernaut doesn't gain charges on his basic counter assist, so make him a Raider and make him war ready. He's worth it. And then Toad should probably be a level 5 Skirmisher, but kind of old news. I just don't like this team. It's just old. I think you can do better things with your Doom. You know, you could throw him on a hybrid team with that Dr. Octopus or something like that. I don't know. I'm going to give you a B- for this. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to put this team out front and hope that Rhino Factor goes into it, and they use that X Factor team for later so that they don't have it early, so they don't have it available later for a YA team. Yeah, I'm not super excited about this. I think it's probably just a B- for me. All right, now we got a Shuri Mercs. Okay, your placement is all wonky. You need the minions adjacent to somebody. He has adjacent healing properties. When somebody adjacent to him gets hit, he heals. So get somebody off of this corner over here. Maybe just swap places so Killmonger's over there. I don't know. Also, I prefer Lieutenant being next to Taskmaster rather than Ryagard being next to Taskmaster because of the X-Force counter. It's minuscule, but it's something you can do and it doesn't cost anything. So biggest thing is a placement change. You got Raider on Taskmaster. Well, I mean, you don't have any Striker Mercs, so might as well. I'd rather him be a Striker than a Raider on this team. And then healers on those minions. Man, I don't know. I don't like the ISOs. I don't like the placement. I don't like this ISO over here, but man, you already like over-invested in that, so it's hard to change that. His native ISO is Raider, but no one's running Wakandans anymore. I mean, I know that like on other teams, he can still use that Raider with the crit built into it, like a Skilletary team or something. So yeah, let's change the placement. Let's change like a bunch of these ISOs. You kind of got to invest more in these minions. It's really just, man, your Mercs are in sad shape, buddy. So I'm going to give you a D for this team. They're not looking good, and I'm a big fan of the Mercs, even though they're so old. Moving on to team number 9 is Heroes for Hire. I don't like Luke Cage on the outside anymore because of the Dark Hunters team. Let's swap places with him and Iron Fist, and then maybe swap places with Misty Knight and Colleen Wing, so Misty is on the corners. because we don't want her getting disrupted. She's got better resistance than anybody, and then we don't want him getting disrupted. So yeah, we got to make some placement changes there. Healer on Luke Cage sucks. Let's make him a level 4 fortifier. Healer on Iron Fist is not my favorite. I prefer Skirmisher. You got Skirmisher, Raider, Striker, so those are good. Let's get this team war ready though with the right ISOs and do a placement change. I'm going to give you a B- for that. Team number 10 is the Fantastic Four, which is less than fantastic. We've seen in some previous videos that putting her on an Marauder team in place of Madeline Pryor for the time being is a pretty decent thing to do. This team is old and busted. Everything beats it anymore. They're not worth investing in. They aren't really good anywhere. There's better stuff to use for the different campaign notes. So really the only thing is I think she's in the Nowhere event, if that's right. I think she's Nowhere event, and that's the only reason to build her. The rest of the team should really just be left alone. As is, though, you have 2 strikers, 2 skirmishers, and 1 healer. The ISOs are right. Placement's good. Everything's going fine here. So I'll give you an A- for this just because I don't like the team. I just don't like the team, man. Let's use somebody else. Anyway, this has been Tariq's Defense Up video. If you want your defense featured on Defense Up, then links are in the description. Hit that like button while you're down there. And remember, guys, don't just have a good game. Be good to yourselves and others, too. And I will see you next time.